why would you say is it difficult for governments to respond?
Actually, these activities are designed to be difficult to respond to, really.
Welcome, Jiayi, to our conversation series again. And congratulations to the event you and the team had the other day. That was on managing maritime hybrid threats in the Indo-Pacific and the Nordic-Baltic regions. And there's clearly a lot of attention on these issues right now, and it's great that we get to talk a bit more about this. And to start with, when we talk about maritime hybrid threats, what does it actually mean in practice? What should people have in mind?
So firstly, to discuss the wider category of hybrid threats, this refers to many forms of malign activities that are intended to erode the sovereignty, security, and resilience of a state, society, or an institution. The concept of hybrid threat also overlaps with that of gray zone activities, as both tend to operate below the threshold of open conflict, and they blur the line really between peace and conflict. In the maritime domain, we have several examples of hybrid threats. These include sabotage and destruction of critical undersea infrastructure, interference with satellite navigation, use of shadow fleets, illegal fishing vessels, even artificial island building, but this is a non-exhaustive list.
Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting, your event brought together these two regions, the Indo-Pacific and the Nordic-Baltic region. Why is it meaningful to connect these two regions in that situation right now?
Well, these are clearly very different regions, but there are also a lot of similarities in the challenges to security that both regions face. There are plenty of experiences to be shared and also lessons to be learned in terms of how to effectively address and minimize these hybrid threats. Maritime hybrid threats are also often discussed as regional security issues, but these are also a global problem, and particularly at a time where multilateral frameworks and traditional security alignments are weakening. I think it's even more important for actors that are interested in upholding and enforcing a more rules-based order to come together and also to work together.
And I mean, you mentioned some of these threats: cable sabotage, cyberattacks, island building. How serious are these threats today? You said they're increasing, but do you see them becoming more frequent?
Yeah, they certainly have increased in frequency, and not only in frequency, but also in their scale and their scope and also their complexity. And this has been a problem since at least 2014, but have really heightened since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. And these are not only disrupting the security of littoral states and societies, but also disrupting wider global maritime commerce and security.
What I understand is that these activities often stay below the threshold of real open conflict. It's some sort of sabotage. But why would you say is it difficult for governments to respond?
Actually, these activities are designed to be difficult to respond to, really. They're often very exploitative of vulnerabilities in defense, but also even loopholes in law, international law as well. One of the problems is that attribution is very difficult, due in part to the use of non-state actors that really make it difficult to determine who should be held responsible. In the maritime domain, for example, there's the flying of flags of convenience, which also makes accountability difficult. But another problem in terms of response is also the difficulty in formulating appropriate as well as proportionate responses to deter the activity, but also that do not also escalate into wider conflict, which is something that target states also often want to avoid.
And at the event, did you look ahead in a way what could be promising ways for countries like Japan, like the Nordic states, to manage these risks or find a good way forward?
I think at the moment there's still quite a lot to be done in terms of information sharing and learning of best practices. But there are also a growing number of dialogue platforms and also a growing interest in utilizing them. So I think that that's positive momentum.
Thank you really for the important work you do in that field. Thanks.